Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Unman Bhattacharya. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar announces a $450 million reconstruction package for Sri Lanka to support the island nation in its recovery. US President Donald Trump says the United States needs Greenland for national security, citing growing Russian and Chinese presence in the Arctic region. More explosive documents against Trump in the new Epstein releases. US Justice Department warns some contents could be untrue and sensationalist. Underscoring India's steadfast solidarity with Sri Lanka in the aftermath of adverse weather conditions caused by Cyclone Ditwa, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is on a Sri Lanka visit, announced a $450 million reconstruction package for Sri Lanka to support the island nation in its recovery.
We had a detailed discussion on the damage caused by Cyclone Ditwa. Commits a reconstruction package of US dollars 450 million to Sri Lanka. Our talks centered around how expeditiously this commitment can be delivered.
Giving opening remarks in Colombo alongside his Sri Lankan counterpart Vijitha Herath, the minister reiterated India's strong resolve to support the people of Sri Lanka. He said that India stands firmly with Sri Lanka more than ever before.
India's relief and assistance mission, Operation Sagar Bandhu, commenced on the very day that Cyclone Ditwa made landfall. Our aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, and another ship, INS Udaygiri, were present at Colombo and delivered relief materials, and thereafter also deployed helicopters.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake in Colombo on Tuesday, conveying Prime Minister Narendra Modi's warm wishes and India's message of solidarity in the aftermath of Cyclone Ditwa. Dr. Jaishankar also held talks with Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya, reaffirming India's steadfast commitment to supporting Sri Lanka's rebuilding efforts. He said the reconstruction package offered by India reflects the deep bonds of friendship and cooperation between the two nations. Dr. S. Jaishankar, along with his Sri Lankan counterpart, jointly inaugurated a 120-foot dual carriageway Bailey Bridge in the Kilinochchi district of Northern Province, one of the areas severely affected by Cyclone Ditwa. The 110-tons bridge was airlifted from India and installed as part of Operation Sagar Bandhu. Dr. Jaishankar also met Sri Lankan Health Minister Nalinda Jayatissa, Labour and Deputy Finance Minister Anil Jayanta and Deputy Tourism Minister Ruwan Ranasinghe. He reiterated India's full support for Sri Lanka's recovery and rebuilding efforts in the aftermath of Cyclone Ditwa. The discussions focused on the implementation of the reconstruction package offered by India and additional relief measures. Dr. S. Jaishankar also met Sri Lanka's leader of opposition Sajith Premadasa in Colombo on Tuesday. The two leaders discussed India's proposed reconstruction package to support Sri Lanka in the aftermath of Cyclone Ditwa. During his visit, Dr. Jaishankar also interacted with members of the Indian business community based in Sri Lanka and applauded their efforts in extending relief and assistance to those affected by the cyclone. Later in the day, Dr. Jaishankar also interacted with Sri Lankan Tamil leaders, underlining India's continued commitment to reconstruction and rehabilitation efforts. Inqilab Moncho, one of the prominent platforms that rose during the July uprising in Bangladesh, has warned of launching a mass movement to oust the current interim government of the country if justice is not delivered in the killing of its leader Usman Hadi last week. The warning came from the platform's member secretary Abdullah Al Jaber at an emergency press conference held in Dhaka. He said a 24-hour ultimatum issued during Hadi's namaz-e-janaza had expired without any visible action from the Home Advisor or law enforcement agencies to arrest the accused. Jabbar accused the authorities of negligence and evasion of responsibility, alleging that the absence of key advisors at official briefings showed a lack of seriousness over the murder. Announcing a protest procession and further street programs, Inqilab Moncho said it would decide whether to continue supporting the interim government or initiate a movement to oust it, reiterating its resolve to remain mobilized until justice is delivered. Following the mob lynching of Deepu Chandra Das, another youth in Bangladesh, members of Vishwa Hindu Parishad held a massive protest outside the Bangladesh High Commission in Delhi. Heavy security was deployed near the Bangladesh High Commission to monitor and control the situation. The protesters demanded accountability from Bangladeshi authorities, with some calling for justice and protection for minorities. Members of the Prasar Bharati Hindi Bengali Sangathan (VHP) and Bajrang Dal participated in a protest near the Durgabai Deshmukh South Campus metro station, raising slogans about Bangladesh's Hindus and their security. Deepu Chandra Das was beaten to death by a mob over alleged blasphemy, and his body was subsequently set on fire on December 18th. Bangladesh Nationalist Party Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul on Tuesday said Bangladesh's law and order situation has deteriorated due to the failure of the Yunus-led interim government, urging it to play an effective role in creating a conducive environment for elections. Fakhrul said the country is passing through a transitional phase, but dangerous conspiracies by certain quarters are obstructing the process. He claimed such conspiracies led to the killing of political activist Osman Hadi. Fakhrul said people are increasingly anxious about whether the upcoming election will take place at all, citing recent incidents that have created fear and uncertainty. Moving on to updates on the Russia-Ukraine situation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Tuesday that several draft documents, including on security guarantees, had been prepared after talks between US and Ukrainian officials on ending the conflict in Ukraine. US officials held talks in Miami at the weekend with Ukrainian and European delegations and had separate talks in Florida with Russian representatives. Ukraine's energy ministry said emergency power outages were introduced in a number of regions, including Kyiv and surrounding region, after Russia again attacked energy facilities. Also, Poland, a NATO member bordering western Ukraine, said Polish and allied aircraft were deployed to protect Polish airspace after Russian strikes targeted areas of western Ukraine near the border. The U.S. Justice Department released a new trove of documents on Tuesday from its investigations into the late financier and convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein, including CCTV videos and legal records. The latest release comprises around 29,000 pages with many redactions and dozens of video clips, including several purporting to be shot inside a prison. Epstein was found dead in 2019 after an apparent suicide in a New York jail. The latest material comes a few days after the Trump administration published a large cache of Epstein files in an attempt to comply with a new law forcing disclosure on the politically fraught topic. Justice Department said that the latest batch contained untrue and sensationalist claims against President Donald Trump. On Monday, Trump downplayed the importance of the Epstein files. Speaking to reporters, he said the material was just used to deflect against tremendous success by him and his fellow Republicans. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen stressed that Arctic security remains a key priority for the European Union after US President Donald Trump renewed the call to take over Greenland, provoking strong reactions from Denmark and the EU. EU chiefs stressed that territorial integrity and sovereignty are fundamental principles of international law, which are essential not only for the EU but for nations around the world. Greenland, a former Danish colony, became an integral part of the Kingdom of Denmark in 1953. It was granted home rule in 1979, expanding its autonomy, though Denmark retains authority over foreign affairs and defense. US President Donald Trump has said the United States needs Greenland for national security, citing growing Russian and Chinese presence in the Arctic region. He implied Greenland is needed for national protection and economic development, not for minerals, as he appoints Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as his special envoy to Greenland. The move draws criticism from Denmark and Greenland over Washington's growing interest in the mineral-rich Arctic island. Here's a report.
President Donald Trump reasserted on Monday that the United States needs Greenland to become part of the United States. He named Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as his special envoy to Greenland, drawing renewed criticism from Denmark and Greenland together.
We need Greenland for national protection. They have a very small population. And I don't know, they say Denmark, but Denmark has spent no money. We need Greenland for national security. Not for minerals. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place.
Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielsen earlier said in a joint statement that Greenland belongs to Greenlanders. Nielsen followed with a rather terse comment on social media. He said that the announcement of an envoy may sound big, but does not change anything on the ground. Greenlanders will decide their future. Denmark summoned American ambassador for a meeting together with the Greenlandic representative and asked for an explanation. Support from the European Union was also quick and firm.
Preserving the territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark, its sovereignty and the inviolability of its borders is essential for the European Union.
Trump has advocated for Greenland, a self-governing Danish territory, to become part of the United States, citing its strategic importance and mineral resources. Bureau Report, DD India.
US President Donald Trump on Monday announced plans to build a new Trump class of battleships that he said would be larger, faster and 100 times more powerful than the biggest of any previous American-built warships. Speaking in Florida, Trump said the battleships would be part of a larger vision to create what he called a golden fleet that would help ensure US naval dominance. He said the project would begin with construction of 2 such battleships and eventually be expanded to encompass 20 to 25 new vessels.
Battleships are the largest, sturdiest, and most heavily armed vessel built specifically for naval combat. While America has built many new warships over the years, they've tended to be smaller and much smaller and not conducive to where we are and where we're going and peace through strength. These cutting-edge vessels will be some of the most lethal surface warfare ships. They will be actually the most ever built other than our submarines. We have submarines which will have, in many ways, even more lethality, and we have many of them under construction.
Let's now take a look at some other news. A thick pollution cloud has covered Montenegro's Peljivla for over a week with warnings to stay indoors due to high sulfur dioxide. Coal plants, household heating and vehicles trapped by temperature inversion have caused rising breathing problems, especially in children. A new black and white mural by anonymous street artist Bansky appeared on Monday in London's Bayswater district, drawing crowds of passers-by. The artwork shows 2 figures in winter hats lying on the ground and looking skyward, with one pointing upward. A Lebanese artist in Ramhala village, Ali, has transformed war shrapnel into artwork displayed at the Shazaya Museum, featuring pieces created over 30 to 40 years. The collection is showcased indoors and outdoors, including a cave gallery and a striking metal tree house, and has drawn positive reactions from visitors. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live, Cambodia and Thailand to hold talks on resuming ceasefire as fighting enters the 3rd week. President Drawpadi Murmu presents Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar, honouring scientists for their outstanding contributions to science, technology and innovation.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse. Is the United States China's debt trap strategy? Truth is stranger than fiction. times hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you. You read between the lines, cut the clutter and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India. Welcome back, you're watching DD India Live. China on Tuesday urged the United States to fulfill its nuclear disarmament responsibilities after a draft Pentagon report claimed that China has likely deployed more than 100 intercontinental ballistic missiles and is not willing to engage in arms control talks. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lin Jian stated at a press briefing that the United States should create conditions for other nuclear-armed countries to pursue disarmament, and added that China does not engage in nuclear arms races with any nation.
As the superpower with the largest nuclear arsenal, the United States must, as a matter of urgency, honestly fulfill its special responsibility in nuclear disarmament and create conditions for other nuclear weapon states to join the nuclear disarmament process. China firmly adheres to its policy of not being the first to use nuclear weapons. It does not engage in a nuclear arms race with any other country.
Thailand and Cambodia agreed to hold a December 24 meeting of defense officials towards resuming a months-old ceasefire as fierce border fighting between them entered the third week with at least 80 people killed so far. Bangkok's defense chief on Tuesday sought to assuage any fears on the Cambodian side about the meeting taking place in Thailand, and the Thai Foreign Ministry said that the venue was still being discussed. The nation's long-standing border conflict reignited this month, shattering an earlier truce, killing more than 40 people and displacing over 900,000 on both sides. Thai Foreign Minister Sihasak Phuang Ketkeo announced a parley with Cambodia after a meeting in the Malaysian capital with his counterparts from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, of which Cambodia is also a member. Malaysia, the chair of ASEAN Regional Bloc, had agreed to host the talks in his capital. President Drawpadi Murmu presented the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar at Rashtrapati Bhavan, honouring scientists for their outstanding contributions to science, technology and innovation. Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
On Tuesday evening, Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi witnessed a proud moment for Indian science as the National Science Awards 2025 were conferred. President Drawpadi Murmu honoured 24 scientists and research teams for their outstanding contributions to science, innovation and research across the country. The awards were presented in 4 major categories: 1 Vigyan Ratna Award, 8 Vigyan Shri Awards and 14 Vigyan Yuva SSB Awards and 1 Vigyan Team Award. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, along with senior scientists, policymakers and eminent dignitaries attended the prestigious ceremony. The event aimed to recognize the dedication, innovation and critical role of scientists in nation building. Expressing gratitude to the central government, the award winners said such national recognition strengthens their confidence and inspires them to work with greater commitment.
These awards will have a long consequence on scientific community to take up research in advanced areas, so that the younger generation can also have this kind of a kind of direction or a motivation to do something new or innovative that can be recognized by government. So this will take long time to go there.
This is an excellent program of Government of India in encouraging the scientists who are at the forefront, contributing in various research and technology fronts in the country and beyond. And so this not only encourages the scientists who have already contributed, this is a great encouragement for our next generation, younger generation, and they will be getting the right path to contribute to the national program of our R&D and technology.
They added that the honor motivates them to take Indian science to greater heights on both national and international platforms. The ceremony marked an inspiring and proud moment for India's scientific community. Tapas Bhattacharya's report for DD India.
In some sports news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted Indian sports poster boy, javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra and his wife Himani Moore at his residence in New Delhi on Tuesday. PM Modi took to social media handle X and shared pictures of his meeting with the two-time Olympic medalist, saying they shared great interaction on various issues including sports. Earlier this year, the 27-year-old Chopra breached the 90-meter barrier, considered the gold standard in javelin throw at Doha Diamond League, but failed to win a medal at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. He now hopes to return strong in 2026. Delhi is all set to witness electrifying basketball action as the Harish Sharma 3-on-3 All India Basketball Championship 2025 makes a grand return. Chairman of the organizing committee, Sudhanshu Mittal, expressed confidence that the tournament will play a crucial role in taking Indian basketball to the next level.
The Harish Sharma 3-on-3 All India Basketball Championship will take place in Delhi, and right now I'm joined by the co-chairman of the organizing committee of the tournament, Sudhanshu Mittal ji. Sir, very warm welcome. We know that the format is fantastic, as earlier you mentioned. So how you look this format, the 3-on-3 basketball, organizing this event, going to change the face of the Indian basketball?
You see, this entire 3-on-3 is a 10-minute event. It takes 15 minutes to overall conclude it, but the playing time is 10 minutes. So it's got so much of stamina, the speed, it's fast, it's very entertaining. So today's world, people don't want to see long matches. And the decision is taken in 10 minutes. So it's very exciting. And this is the format which now globally is catching the imagination of people.
Talking about, as the game is very important because it's also a part of the Olympics too. So do you think organizing such events will definitely give us players who can build a team so that in the future we can have a team for the Olympics through this event too?
Absolutely, because the national exposure will only lead to global exposure. So that was the idea behind organizing this. We thought all the good players in this format should come to Delhi, play this, and we can see who are the futures, and accordingly the Basketball Federation of India can also be informed about their performances. And these players, when they see others, they'll get inspired to raise their levels to the greatest heights they should go, so that India in this format becomes the leading figure.
Definitely, India may become a leading factor because of such events. So overall, you also organized the Kho-Kho World Cup. It was an unprecedented event and it caught the global attention too. So through this event too, you people are trying to make the global stakeholders also take a look on this?
See, I'm a sports lover. And for me to promote sports in India is a mission. And I'm very hopeful that this format, with this organization, with this tournament, will get the due attention it needs, both at the level of players and the spectators, as well as the government. And I'm sure that this format will be adopted and this will be encouraged for future.
Definitely, such event, as Sudhanshu Mittal ji said, will definitely make a different environment, and all the stakeholders definitely will come forward and support this format of the basketball, the 3-on-3 championship, and hoping that it will be, we can say that a milestone for the Indian basketball, and in future too, we will see such more events so that our players may shine at the global stage. With camera person Yogesh, Narayan Singh, DD India, Delhi.
India skipper Harmanpreet Kaur won the toss and opted to bowl first in the second Women's T20 International against Sri Lanka in Visakhapatnam on Tuesday. Harmanpreet Kaur and company are currently leading the 5-match series 1-0. Playing its first international game after a historic World Cup triumph last month, Harmanpreet Kaur's side did not need a break, much sweat, in fact, in the batting and bowling departments during an 8-wicket win over the Ireland nation in the first T20 International. The hosts now look to strengthen their grip on the series. The match is currently underway in Visakhapatnam. Sri Lanka have scored over 70 runs and have lost 2 wickets till the last reports came in. That's it then in this edition of DD India Live, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on your screens. You can scan the QR code and download now. That's it then. Thanks for watching DD India. Namaskar.